Hello, I wanted to show a little thing I made during Macintosh as an alternative solution to having to find AAUI transceivers to connect to 68K Macintoshes to the internet. So first, what is AAUI? It is Apple's own twist on AUI, or Attachment Unit Interface, an old standard that allowed Ethernet cards to be connected to different medium, be it coaxial cable or twisted pairs, like it's done today, through a medium attachment unit, or MAU, also known as transceiver. Since it's used DA15, or incorrectly named DB15 connector, and Apple already used it for their own video port, they feared users would mix cables and risk damaging equipment, or at least that's the official explanation for them using such a weird connector instead. This was used on 68K Macs as well as early PowerPC machines until everyone settled for RG45 connector. The AUI port is compatible at signal level. The only difference is the 12 volt is there replaced with 5 volts, except on some Ethernet cards from other vendors which did have some 12 volts pins, but that's an exception. Well, you can still find AAUI transceivers today. Prices are going up since they are collectible items and very Apple specific. The only cheap ones you'll find are really the coaxial ones that aren't really useful today on today's switches. Sometimes though you can get lucky and find very cheap ones, but not always. Apple did sell AAUI to AUI adapters back then, and sometimes they resurface, but they are more rare than the transceivers themselves, and quite heavy because they have their own bulky power supply. But hey, it's 2021 now, and electronics has advanced. In fact, you can find some tiny boards that will produce the 12 volts you need directly from the 5 volt. And if your Mac doesn't supply enough, well, you can just plug a USB cable somewhere. Also, regular AUI transceivers are not really collectible items, so they are probably much easier to find than the Apple ones. Here is the wiring guide I drawn for myself and possibly a kit version, although the micro D connector is quite challenging to solder and wires inside must be kept short to fit. We just get the 3 differential pairs here, here and there, and then the power, and you'll notice the ground is not connected directly to the other side of the other side of the cable, because when using an external power supply, the connector will actually break the connection here instead of breaking the 5 volt pin. So but well, that's not really a problem because all the signals are differential, and well, it's not really a problem there when using external power. The step-up board itself converts whatever 5 volt we throw at it to 12 volts with about 90% efficiency, so it's not that bad. Although 300 milliamps at 12 volts is definitely more on the 5 volt rail because, well, the power is the same, but if you lower the voltage, you need to pump more intensity, so that would be closer to 1 amp, and some Macs don't really like that. I was concerned about the step-up board creating parasites over the data lines, and indeed it's not very clean when it's approaching them. Although it didn't seem to drop packets on ping, and it's not that hard to add some copper tape around anyway as shielding. And it actually fits inside the connector, barely, but it does. with the step-up board. Here you have the board here, and also the barrel jack I added to the original design. But well, yeah, it actually fits. And I also found a smaller board for the step-up, which is now half of that, 1 centimeter square. So it should be probably easier to build a kit with this one. The resulting product is something that could be quite easy to use. Just plug the thing and it should work. It might be that the transceiver takes too much current and the computer is unstable, in which case you will just have to use an external power supply, and that's it. I can get you a tour of the user manual here, because, well, since it's easy to use, it shouldn't be that hard to write a user manual, right? Most of the text is about the power requirements, and yeah, just avoiding using too much power on this. And yeah, what about some demo time? So here is a video recording I made earlier. Here I'm starting a telnet client. It's quite slow because I forgot I was running ping-f to the machine. So yeah, it takes a while to start up. This is running on Mac LC3 with an Apple PDS card, PDS Ethernet card, and yes, it's quite slow. Then we go to towel.blinkenlights.nl to watch Star Wars, because why not? And well, it works surprisingly well. Here's the AAUI plug with the cable. Sorry about the shaky cam. I don't really have the gear for proper YouTubing. Yeah, here's the other end with a step-up board that's been shielded, and well, it makes quite a difference on the signal, as you will see. That's the transceiver with the LEDs blinking, and yeah, the signals are quite sharp now with the shielding, so it's much better. Yeah, and both transceivers I have actually worked correctly with this cable, so yeah. Here's the template for the labels. I wasn't quite sure of the font I would use at the time, and the paint for the A15 shell. So yeah, that's it for the demo. It's still running. A New Hope. I can show you the finished cable. Here it is. So that's the AUI connector here, and the J15 with all inside. There's the hole here for the jack. Sorry, it's out of focus. So yeah, 1.3 millimeter jack, barrel jack for the external power input, optional. It's just missing the paint and the label, and yeah, the paint I found is actually closer to the yellowed cases of the Macintosh than the original platinum color, but well, that's that's okay, I guess. It's much better than this color, and that's the stepper board I use. The first one, I found a smaller one since then. I had to actually desolder those header pins, so it's painful, but the other one I found actually comes without the pins, so it's simpler to use, I suppose. Yeah, so thanks. I hope this will be useful to others, since I had to order parts for 5 or 10 of them. I will make some more cables and make them available somewhere. I'll probably put the links in the video description. And then I'll look into making DIY kits, because it's much less work for me to if you solder them yourself. And yeah, enjoy all the other March in Touch videos. See you.